The lion who wouldn't let go until a house cat changed everything. Hello dear viewers, welcome to Wild Hearts Rule. Today we're sharing an incredible story of a wild bond between two lions and an incredible hope for the future after grief and loss. This is the story of Kumo and Tau, two lions who were never supposed to survive, let alone love each other so deeply, but they did. This lion is dying, but not from illness, not from injury. He's dying of something else, grief. Just months before, he was playful, strong, full of life, until he lost the only creature he'd ever loved. This is the true story of two lion brothers, a bond beyond blood, and a tiny house cat who did the impossible. The Kumo and Tau were inseparable from the day they were rescued. They weren't just brothers by fate, they also became brothers by choice. And when one of them fell sick, the other refused to let go, until love showed up in the most unexpected form, a tiny house cat named Miso. What happened next will stay with you forever. Leah Morgan didn't expect to raise lions, but when two abandoned cubs were found near the edge of a game reserve, malnourished, barely breathing, she couldn't turn them away. She named them Kumo and Tau. Kumo, the slightly older one, was bold and curious. He was always the first to run toward a sound or chase a leaf. Tau, smaller and softer in personality, was the calm shadow behind him. He followed Kumo everywhere, and Kumo always waited. They played in the dirt together, shared every meal, and curled up in the exact same spot every single night. Most experts warned Leah the lions would become aggressive toward each other with age, territorial and dominant. But something rare happened. From the beginning, they acted like brothers. What shocked Leah the most was how gentle they were with each other. Male lions are known for being territorial and aggressive, but these two, they were never apart, sleeping pressed together, sharing food, following one another like shadows. They had their own way of communicating too. When they played, they made a unique sound, a deep, guttural roar mixed with a growl. Leah called it the brothers' call. It was full of joy. It was their bond. It was like they had their own language, she said. As the years passed, Kumo and Tau grew into powerful, fully grown lions. Yet even as adults, incredibly, they remained just as connected. They chased each other through tall grass. They lounged side by side in the shade. They shared their food without growling, something almost unheard of in the wild. Wherever one went, the other was close behind. Leah built them a massive sanctuary enclosure, complete with trees, a pond, and places to climb. Then, one winter morning, something changed. Tau wasn't himself. He moved slower, ate less. He seemed tired in a way that sleep couldn't fix. At first Leah thought it was a minor illness, but days passed and Tau only got worse. Kumo noticed immediately. He stopped playing. He stopped eating. Instead, he brought his food to Tau, dragging chunks of meat across the dirt and nudging them toward his brother. When Tau refused to eat, Kumo made beside him and refused his own food too. The vets came. They tried everything, fluids, medicine, and blood tests. But nothing worked, and through it all, Kumo never left his brother's side. He slept curled up next to him, pressed close. After nearly 2 months of decline, Tau passed away during the night. When Leah found them the next morning, Kumo was lying beside him, still. He didn't eat that day, or the next. The brothers' call echoed through the sanctuary, over and over again, lower and ever. Leah described it as heartbreaking. Kumo wasn't roaring for dominance. He was calling for his brother, over and over, waiting for an answer that would never come. Days turned into weeks. Kumo refused food. The vets found nothing physically wrong with Kumo, although Leah thought maybe he had the same disease as his brother. Kumo was not diseased, but he was wasting away because of grief for his lost brother. He was grieving, Leah said, and it was killing him. Kumo had barely moved for days. He was lying in the corner, ribs visible, eyes half closed. Just as Leah was preparing for the worst, something unexpected happened. A small orange and white house cat had been rescued from a roadside nearby. Leah found her and took her in, named her Miso, and kept her in a crate near the lion's enclosure while she recovered. One day, Miso slipped out of the crate and into the sanctuary. Leah says she was so panicked, she braced herself for the cat to be eaten by the lion. But instead, something amazing happened. Miso walked right up to him. She sniffed his nose, climbed gently onto his back, and the cat curled into his fur. Kumo didn't flinch. Instead, he sighed, then closed his eyes, and for first time in days, he seemed to sleep peacefully. Leah stood in silence. It was like something old and familiar had returned, she said, like he was letting himself rest, because he wasn't alone anymore. The next morning, Kumo ate, slowly, cautiously, but he ate. And Miso? She never left his side. Every day, she followed him around the enclosure, rubbing her tiny body against his legs, curling up between his paws. Kumo had started eating. Slowly, but he ate enough to survive. Day by day, he started moving. The cat followed him everywhere, climbing his back, curling into his paws. And then, the brotherly roar came back. That same brotherly call, but softer. Not calling for someone, calling with someone. Leah said, I don't believe in coincidence anymore. The way he looks at her, it's like he sees his brother again. That bond saved him. And honestly, it saved me too. That same brother's call. Not as loud, not as joyful, but there, a quiet echo of love rediscovered. Leah began to believe that this wasn't just comfort, it was something more. Sometimes, she said, I think Miso is Tau, like he has come back in a new body. Leah said she never believed in reincarnation, but seeing the bond between Kumo and Miso, she couldn't deny this is a miracle. She knows God sent Miso to save Kumo. She said, I never believed in reincarnation, but I think when Tao sent to heaven, he asked God to send his brother help. I think Miso was sent by an angel. She curls up in the same spot he used to. She even nudges Kumo before bed, the exact same way his brother used to. Leah says, I know it saved Kumo's life.